welcome everyone to our first episode of our business launch in 2022. So today we're very honored to have Julia Gash, the company director of Julia Gash Enterprise Limited. So very welcome to our office actually today.
Oh, thank you, Daisy, and thank you for inviting me here. I'm delighted to be here.
So Julia, you are incredibly talented, a very amazing artist, as well as a very successful entrepreneur. So can you tell us about your journey so far?
My business started in 1990 here in London, and I ran a fashion brand for 10 years. And over the years, my business and businesses have evolved. So I am your classic serial creative entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so it evolved from a fashion brand into a lifestyle brand, which went into retail. How the cityscapes developed was one of the London retailers said, it's the Olympics, we need product in our shops. We haven't got anything, we need tote bags. We've got a budget for tote bags, but no design. And I said, okay, so why don't I do a map of London in a cute way, and we print it. And they just sold like hotcakes. And then a Japanese distributor said, can we have Tokyo? Can we have Paris? And then someone said, can we have, and that's how it developed. And I decided to sell my business. My management team bought my manufacturing business to free me up to run my Cityscape tote bag brand, which by then had evolved into a sustainable souvenir brand.
So Julia, congratulations. You were the winner of the International Gift of the Year 2021. So many congratulations in such a competitive field. How do you make your brand and yourself stand out?
You've got to offer something new. You've got to bring something new to the market. That might be something new technologically, it might be a new aesthetic, but you've got to have a new vision. You have to have something that hasn't been just done before. It also has to have a really clear brand identity. And that's not just in the product, which for me, obviously it's my illustrations are very much my identity. And then the third thing is you have to have a really strong commercial solution. So that's about knowing your market, getting that market, and getting known in that market, wherever that market is.
And do you remember how you first learned about TDC? Of course, through us, but do you remember the whole process and what we discussed?
So we were at a trade show, and I'm a naturally curious person, so I like to ask questions. And I'm curious, what is HKTDC? We discussed about an introduction service.
The business matching service.
To be introduced to, I remember the list, about that big, 2 or 3 distributors and 2 or 3 retailers. After my brand grew in Hong Kong, I attended the Hong Kong Gifts and Premium Gift Show.
Yeah, which is our show. Yeah.
Which is your show.
Yes.
And through having a booth at that show, which was 2 to 3 years up to COVID, lockdown, I found my biggest licensing partner through that show, as well as some key clients from around the world I found at that trade show. And then the third thing is I found a Hong Kong distributor who does an amazing job of my brand, for my brand in Hong Kong. And he got my brand into the Hong Kong design shops, which again is run by HKTDC.
Design gallery.
So we have a 3-way relationship there, which started in 2013.
And this is actually the product.
Yes.
You mentioned that this is the first.
The first version. I've done
version.
another 1 or maybe 2 since. If I'm going to Hong Kong and I'm doing map-like illustrations, guess what? I need to draw Hong Kong. I need to go to that meeting with something. So with a bag and with a very small brochure, which showed the product options, showed the prices, and laid it out in a way that was easily digestible for a retail buyer in Hong Kong.
So how do you incorporate your ethical sourcing and green supply chain into your productions?
To sustain those values in a business, you have to engage your employees completely. And so it goes right through to the interview process. When I'm interviewing a candidate, I ask them a question about their sustainability at home in their personal lives, and I'm watching how they answer, because I want someone who's going to be on board in my business.
Wow.
It's important to engage your staff, and it's also important to communicate it to your customers as well. And that's what we did. And I remember people thinking that you couldn't run an environmentally focused and ethically focused business and be profitable. Well, I proved you could.
It works.
And actually, you can do it, and really it became an asset, and it was an asset always. I always saw it as an asset.